get into the final segment of the podcast. I've introduced this new segment in this season and I call it Know Your Host, where I give my guest an opportunity to ask me any question that you would like to ask.
Awesome. I was waiting for that.
Okay.
Tell me, Grasis, so in your time living in Canada, what are the top three lessons that you've learned that have really helped you, grow as a person, grow as a professional? What would those top three lessons
Hmm.
be?
Sure. I'll talk about like growing as a person first. Definitely, I think I have mentioned it so many in the podcast as well. I grew up in a very patriarchal household and I had like a certain way of seeing things. And after coming here, just like, interacting with people and getting exposed to so many cultures and languages as well, and just interacting with these people, I think I've understood that it's important to shed few things which are not serving you anymore, and it's okay to unlearn and relearn some new things. That's something I think I have learned. Personally, for sure, and for professionally, something I have learned is that, which also you also talk a lot about that, which is hard skills definitely get you a job, but soft skills are something which retain you at the job. And I think I have witnessed some examples where they are people who are like professionals in their career, amazing decades of experience, but they were let go just because they were not basically like a team player. I have seen that people will
Mhm.
let go in that sense. So yeah, these are the two things I would say I have definitely learned throughout my journey.
I love that. I love that. That's lots of good insights in those couple of tidbits over there. Thank you for sharing. I know you asked me this question, so I'm going to put it back to you.
Sure.
What is a movie or documentary that left an impact in your life?
Sure.
And can you recall a dialogue from that really stood out to you? It could be serious. It could be comical as well.
Yeah. No, definitely. I have an answer to that. I always do my research before I ask other guests.
You
So
should know the answer to the questions you ask other people, right?
absolutely, yeah, yeah. I always know that. So I think I think I should go back to my time in 2021 when I was like really going through like a really
Mm,
hard phase. From like my initial 4 months, I think I don't even remember those 4 months anymore because there was so much happening, and because my work permit was expiring, I was left with like 3 months. I wasn't getting any job. I was let go of my the job I was doing already. I was asked to leave the house as well. I had no house. There's so many things just going on in my mind at that time.
wow.
Tons of things, and I think at that time it's an old movie. It's I don't know, it's like a 90s or early 2000s, I believe. It's a Will Smith movie that features Will Smith. It's called The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, I
With,
love
or
that
maybe
movie. Yeah.
happiness, how they call it. I think
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
movie in general really left an impact on me, that all that comes your way is part of your bigger journey. It's part of your journey, and if you just get bogged down by all these hurdles, pull yourself up and just continue moving, continue putting your effort, and continue doing the best you can in that particular situation. Focus on the things that you can control. You can't control what is not in your control. I think I gave the example earlier also, in terms of international
Mhm.
student journey. The things which is in your control is to go ahead and apply to a certain work permit or a job or anything as per the requirements. That's in your control. Whether the immigration office will reply back to you or not, you don't know that. When they're going to reply you back, you don't
Correct.
know that. When is the recruiter going to respond you back or no, you don't know that. So doing the best that you can and continue doing your thing, and just I think that will let you to pursue your happiness. I would say that. Yeah. So that movie is definitely left an impact on me. Yeah. That's how I'll answer that.
Yeah.
And
No,
yeah.
that's a great movie. I love watching that movie as well. There were so many lessons
Absolutely. Yeah.
on happiness, on life in general that movie teaches you.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. I'll ask you one more
Sure.
question. Do you cook? And what is your favorite food to eat? You could eat that any day, all day.
Okay. Great question. Yes, and yes, I do cook. I love cooking. I was mentioning it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
do? Okay.
I actually, obviously, like back in India, I've hardly cooked. And the funny thing is, my last guest actually asked me this question regarding cooking.
Okay.
So, like, what's something you discovered? And I told them, I think I discovered a cook within me when I came to Canada. I didn't know I
Mm.
could go back in India only Maggie or maybe like boil some eggs or the worst case scenario. But here, yes, I cook. I cook a lot. I think I obviously I cook Indian. I've also tried I actually I cook a lot of like Chinese, very similar to Indian as well, like Indo Chinese. I cook. I cook a lot of like
Mhm.
Mexican as
Mhm.
well. I cook some Thai food as well,
Mm.
and so I think I've cooked Mediterranean, obviously very similar spices and everything, but I do cook that. And something which I think my staple food is, it's very boring answer, but it is dal chawal, or how we call it,
Mhm.
lentils and rice. I think I can have that anytime, every day. Lentil soup, how people call it, I think that's the therapy for me. I love just having a simple plain yellow dal, so to say, we call it. So yeah, I think
That's
this is
amazing.
something I would say that
So when are you inviting me over for dinner?
whenever you say, whenever you're available. I'm sure you have a busy schedule, but whenever I'm in Toronto
That's
next, or
okay.
whenever you are in Montreal next, we have to connect for sure. Yeah.
Yes, no, I have a busy schedule, yes, but after all of those dishes you mentioned, Indian, Indo-Chinese,
Yeah.
and Mediterranean and Mexican,
Yeah.
I was like, no, I think you know what you're doing. So I should probably make a trip to Montreal soon to try that.
100%, 100%. I'm not sure you'll love it or not. My friends say they love it, they enjoy it, so I'm sure
No,
you'll
no,
do it as
I
well. Yeah.
I don't have very high standards when it comes to food, so anything that you serve me would be good.
Okay.
So thank you for sharing that. It was lovely to know that there's a cook hidden inside grasses as well, and you've discovered that talent for yourself.
So now, Johan, I would like to go to the final segment of the podcast. I call it Beneath the Accent. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You can answer them in one word or a sentence, or however you feel like. The idea is just to know a little bit more about Johan. So, ready?
Absolutely, let's go for it.
Tell me an advice you would like to give to your younger self, and at what age?
So definitely at my teenage years when I was a little bit off track, advice I would like to give myself was, always remember the consequences of your
Hmm.
actions because every action you take, whether or not you take no action is an
Hmm.
action as well. So always remember, before you do something or take a step, remember what consequences it could have for yourself, for people and the community. So
Hmm.
that's one lesson that I have learned sometimes the hard way growing up.
Okay. Is there any worst advice someone ever gave you?
Yeah, when I was job searching myself, I used to receive advice that it's all about blasting thousands of applications and hopefully one of them will help you land a job. So I remember that distinctly. I won't mention names, but
Yeah,
I remember that distinctly coming from a couple of sources, and we know now that that is absolutely the worst way of landing a job.
of course. Okay. Is there any one dish from your home country that always brings you comfort and nostalgia?
So when I was growing up in Pune, I used to eat a lot of biryani, and biryani since then has stayed with me, and I love it. So similar to how you eat dal and rice, for me, I can eat biryani anytime, any day, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay. So you said you moved here obviously like by the age of 15. Do you remember your first friend that you made in Canada, and are you still in touch?
Yes, actually, I made a few friends. So I was that way. I was not very shy. I was quite outgoing. I did make few different friends in high
Hmm.
school, and believe it or not, two of my friends that I made are still my best friends today.
Okay.
Even after 23 years, we message almost on a weekly
Hmm.
basis, and it's amazing to see people who you went to high school with now growing up with you, university years, adult, getting married around the same time, having
Yeah.
kids. And my best friend actually just his wife delivered twin babies 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
So that was very exciting to see, and very happy for him. Yeah.
Okay. So, what's that one tradition that you have adopted wholeheartedly, and what's one from your home country that you have introduced to your Canadian friends, if you have?
So I don't have too many Canadian friends.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of my friends. I mean, when I say Canadian, I mean like born raised over
Yeah.
here. Most of my friends are immigrants, just like
Hmm.
myself. Actually, a lot of my friends are friends from high school for many years, and then we've made some friends recently as well. So no tradition. I mean, they know all of the Indian traditions that I know, so I haven't made them adopt any traditions. But some traditions that I did used to celebrate back then that we celebrate over here is Thanksgiving,
Okay.
right? So the festival of Thanksgiving, we get together as a family. We don't do like turkey or anything like that, but it's just getting together, having a meal. My wife is of Chinese descent, so we also celebrate now Chinese New Year.
Okay.
So that's a big, big tradition for us to do every single year. And for the kids, it's Halloween, right? So there was
Hmm.
no Halloween concept back in India or Dubai,
Yeah.
and Halloween just passed, so my house is filled with candy.
Okay.
So if you cook food for me, I will give you one full box of chocolates.
Up for it. No worries. Okay. So
Yeah.
you said your wife is from Chinese descent. So how many languages are spoken in your house now?
So she's of Chinese descent, Gurasis, but she's born and raised in Mumbai.
Okay.
So she has the Chinese, ancestry
Okay.
and the looks, but फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. and
I
and
love
and
that.
and she speaks fluent Hindi because born and raised in
Of
Mumbai.
course. Yeah.
So it's just Hindi and English. Yeah.
Okay. And do you make that conscious effort to instill, like, for example, Hindi or it in your children?
I wish I did. Unfortunately, ever since my wife and I have been together, we spoke to each other in English.
Okay.
Even though both of us can speak in Hindi, for some reason we always communicated with each other in English. And so it became a little bit odd for us to talk to the children in a different language. So something I regret is not talking in either Hindi or Gujarati or a little bit of Chinese that she knows
Hmm.
with them. So yeah,
Okay.
lessons you learn,
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
as you go.
And is there something you recently bought and you now regret?
I'm very careful with whatever I buy.
Hmm.
I do a lot of research and analysis, so I can't think of anything recent that I bought that was not good value or that I wanted to return.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's next on your bucket list?
So we just had a baby who is now 5 months old. So the next on my bucket list is to give him, the best possible
Hmm.
experience growing up, just like how I've done for my daughter so far, and prioritizing that because family is top priority for me.
Hmm.
In terms of work, it would be, continuing to do a little bit of my coaching, also continuing to work for Deloitte
Hmm.
while maintaining the work life harmony.
Hmm.
And we have a trip coming up in December. So next
Okay.
month we are taking the kids to Disney.
Oh, wow.
So looking forward to that.
Okay. So you have to create this one law that everybody has to follow. What would it be?
I think coming back again to my value of kindness and
Hmm.
empathy, one law that I would create is just being kind to people, irrespective of what they do, what they say, how they treat you. So the law of kindness
Love that.
by Johann Einstein.
Finally, describe Canada in one word or a sentence.
Opportunity. I think Canada brings thousands and millions of people, and that's one word I would use to describe it. It's a land of opportunities for a reason,
Hmm.
and if you admire and appreciate what it can offer you, I think there's so much.
And lastly, if you could leave me with one piece of advice, what would it be?
Keep doing what you're doing, keep cooking what you're cooking, and just keep making such a big difference in people's lives through sharing people's stories, teaching people different lessons. So I love what you do, and kudos to you for spending so much energy, time, and effort behind this. And you really are inspiring so many people all across Canada and in the world as well. So amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Han, for being on the podcast. Thank you for your kind words and adding value to my listeners. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Gurasis, for having me. It's an absolute honor, and I really enjoyed our fun conversation together. Wishing you all the very best.